about LA?
Everything. I love LA. I'm born and raised here. There's no greater city. And, you know, everyone comes here to make it. There's no other city that you go to make it and to follow your dreams. And I think that we're really like the land of milk and honey. We have so many opportunities for young artists, young entrepreneurs, and there's just no greater city to be, you know? We're 71 degrees right now, and the East Coast is like 30 degrees. We're like overlooking
you're right.
houses and stuff.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you got your start in the music industry or just entertainment industry?
How I got my start in entertainment, my family is actually born really in music. My dad was a musician, my grandparents were, so I was born into the business. My father was signed to Holland Dozier Holland, which are like the greatest songwriters. They just got a star. I'm so excited. I have to go see it. I was so mad I missed it. Yeah, so I was born in music. It's still my first love. It's just kind of something that I can't, you know, do anything about. But formally, I started when Kanye started Good Music. So I did like the West Coast promotions and things like that. And really, we were just having fun. Like, I just got my friends who were all cute, and we just like, all right, we're gonna be the good girls. And like, you know, we did the street team marketing and the parties and the Grammy parties and the BET parties, and really did a lot of the street team work, which is not really done anymore. And I think it's still such a great element that should be put back into music, street team.
Looking back at that, do you realize at that point how big that was going to be?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And even with Kanye's career, I mean, he of course knew where he would go, but he became like a literally rap superstar within one album. It was like College Dropout. The next album was like, you know, and I'm not certain that everyone was prepared, but I know that everyone knew, you know, because everyone around him are so successful. Yeah. So his whole team was able to become, you know, really millionaires, all of them. So I didn't know, and I was young, so there was no way for me to really foresee it, you know.
You also worked with Russell Simmons. So, I mean, you have all these amazing people, like, that are vouching for you. How did that connection come about?
You know what? That connection came actually really when we started this All Def Comedy live show on Wednesdays that's hosted by Tony Rock. I said it, Tony, okay? His company reached out to me. They were doing it, and it wasn't what they wanted it to be. So a gentleman by the name of Derek Curtis, who used to work at Russell's companies, he reached out to me and was like, hey, we really want you to come on board and either take this comedy show to the next level or we're going to cancel it. And I'm like, oh, slight work. Come in, you know, and it's just a lifestyle element that I added and brought to the table for it. And it's been extremely successful since then. So that's where the Russell Simmons started. And then, of course, from then it just has built.
I mean, that's a big person to vouch for you. So,
huh?
Is it weird, like, thinking back and, like, all these people, I have all these numbers in my phone book. Is that weird? Like,
I never think about it. I never think about it. It's funny because like my phone even ringing all day, like all these people like, you know, call. So it's not something I think that I've settled into thinking because it's normal for me. It's my normal, you know.
Going back to it, I know you worked in a corporate like insurance type of world.
You know that girl?
Yeah.
Jocelyn.
Stalker. Part-time.
I love it. Yes, Jocelyn.
So I want to know, because there's a lot of women that look up to you, but we both juggle. You know, we juggle.
Absolutely.
Both. So what was your tipping point? When did you know that it was time for you to do greater things?
When God told me to leave.
Okay.
And I had no plan. And I didn't know what I was about to do. And I remember sitting in my office and he was like, this is your last day here. And I'm like, what are you talking about, God? Get out of my head. Seriously. And I started picking up my stuff from my desk in my office and taking it slowly down to my car that day. And I never forget, I had this little gray heater that used to warm up my feet. And I love this heater. I took it from home to my office. And it was my last thing to take. And I was like almost in tears because I was so confused as to what I was doing. And I was walking out and one of my colleagues was like, what you about to quit? And I'm like, Like, I just started crying because I didn't know what I was doing. And that was my last day at my office.
Wow. So with no plan.
No.
So, and it worked out for you.
I trusted God. I had no plan. I didn't know. I just knew that I had to do greater things and I had to reach more people.
Was there someone? I feel like every successful person has a mentor. Who's that person for you?
My mom and my brother. There's definitely people I look up to in the industry, 100%. But if I had to be honest, my mom and my brother.
Were they always? Was your family always supportive of?
Always. So I feel bad when people don't have that. My mom is just supportive of following purpose and passion. So whatever that looks like, that's what she's encouraged her kids to do. And it's not always, no one completely understands it, you know?
Yeah. That's a blessing, though.
I know.
Having her is,
No, seriously.
Because being, like, Latina, our parents don't always understand. But that's good that you're parents, and they were also in the industry, so I guess that kind of helped out.
You know what? Well, my mom... It's funny. My mom was like the fly girl, like me growing up. Like she was like, you know, she's actually a superstar. She's freaking hilarious. But she worked in corporate her whole life. She worked at the hospital. She worked at Kaiser Permanente for 28 years.
Okay.
And but she always did things on the side. She was always like a hustler, always entrepreneurial minded. So I think she trusted that I was following something great. Yeah.
Were there ever moments that you were just like, okay, this is too much. Nothing is coming from this.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. That's why I encourage people, it's not about the money. Like, you know, if people are in places where money is really tight and they don't see a way, like, you have to push through that because it's going to be times like that. So there's plenty of times where I was like, okay, because I can go back to selling insurance. I didn't leave with no money. I was making great money. You know what I mean? But I had to just go. But it's definitely points where I said, I'm probably not going to do this. I'm either going to move to North Carolina where my mom lives, or I'm going to go back to work. And I just had to push through it.
What would you say? What would you say is the most important thing as far as making it in the industry?
Your integrity and doing good business and being a solid business person. Because some people do bad business for money, and it'll always bite you in the butt. You'll never win from that. It's not longevity, you know? Like, so being a solid person is key in keeping your integrity.
And then we're gonna one more question.
Yes.
How do you balance your personal life and your crazy schedule? Because I see your Instagram and I'm just like, she went from here to here.
It's ridiculous. It's an ongoing exercise in my life. It's not something that I've mastered, and I'm not certain that I'll ever 100% master it because I don't plan on stopping anytime soon or slowing down, so to speak. But if my body is telling me, hey, chill out, then I'll push it to the extreme, and then I'll chill. But for family, if I feel I need to see my mom or see my brother, I'll just need to tell myself I have to do it because I'll choose work over everything. That's just how I am. Like I work 7 days a week. I'm gonna always be working, but when I feel it in my spirit, like you have to do it. And then I started fake taking like Sundays off, like fake. And so those are the days that I make sure, you know, like my brother and I live around the corner from each other, so make sure I see my brother. Or I talk to my mom pretty much almost every day. But you know, if I need to fly out and go see her or, you know, fly her here, that's just what you just have to tell yourself to do it.
Force yourself to take a break.
You have to, because I'll keep working. I'll just keep going.
But that's why you're here, right?
I think so.
All right, thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate it. And I know you're inspiring so many women, me included especially.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
That means so much to me. Thank you.